Welcome to Dubai International Airport. I previously flew an Emirates A380 on the staggeringly long flights from Washington Dulles, and now I will continue onwards to Almaty in Kazakhstan. Emirates don't fly to Kazakhstan, so I had the choice between two airlines, Fly Dubai and Air Astana. However, after visiting Kazakhstan in 2022 and hearing how many people rave about their national airline, I knew I had to try Air Astana. Air Astana depart from Terminal D here at Dubai, which is home to some pretty cool aircraft like this Uganda Airlines A330-800. The -800 variant of the A330 hasn't sold that well, with only 12 orders, 7 of which have been delivered, making this a very rare aircraft to see. But even cooler than that was this Cam Air A340-300. Cam Air are Afghanistan's national airline, and ever since 2021 the airline has been operated by the Taliban, and Dubai is one of the few places they're allowed to fly. But after that, my much safer aircraft pulls into the gate. This is Echo India Kilo Delta Charlie, a 6-year-old Irish-leased Airbus A321Neo operated by Air Astana. This will be my first flight on the Neo variant of the A320 family, which I'm pretty excited about. As well, I really like the Air Astana livery with the dark blue and gold colours. It's a shame they don't utilise any of the lighter Kazakh blue colour, but this still looks cool nevertheless. Despite being only a 3-hour flight, every seat features an IFE screen, an ample amount of legroom, and even a pillow with amenities kit. After we departed Dubai on runway 30 right, we began our climb up over the Arabian Gulf. To the surprise of a European who's used to being charged for almost everything in economy, we were then given a hot towel followed by a snack and a drink. And then a while after that, the main meal of today's flight was served. And yes, that's a main meal after a snack. And the meal today consisted of beef with rice, some bread with ham and cheese, a cereal bar, and a beverage of your choice. Ever since visiting Kazakhstan the first time, Air Astana have really started to interest me, and they're certainly a diamond in the rough when it comes to this part of the world. Most of the countries around this region used to be a part of the Soviet Union up until 1991, and a lot of these countries have found it hard to prosper on their own, and this is reflected in the airlines around this part of the world. Some aren't exactly what you would call bad, but they're not exactly thriving, except, I would say, for Air Astana, and they have an origin which really fascinates me. BAE Systems are a British armed security and aerospace company that produce almost everything for the British military, including all naval ships, a lot of aircraft, radars, and almost everything in between. They also sell these assets to allied countries, and in 2001 BAE Systems were trying to secure a sale with the Kazakh military for a range of radars. At the same time, Samrat Kazina, a Kazakh welfare fund, were in the midst of trying to launch a national airline for Kazakhstan, and so to sweeten the pot for the Kazakh government, BAE Systems purchased 49% of the shares in this new airline. This new airline being, of course, Air Astana. Air Astana have operated the Boeing 737 and 757 from launch, but are now in the middle of a large and also impressive fleet upgrade. They have operated the A320 and A321 since 2006, but these are now being upgraded to the new Neo family. They have already replaced their A320s with 11 orders for the A320Neo, and while they still have their regular A321s in service, these will soon be phased out and be replaced with more of the aircraft we're currently on, the A321Neo. They currently have 7 orders for the A321Neo and 16 orders for the A321LR, which is the long-range version of the A321Neo. Along with this, they have 5 of the brand new E190-E2s in their fleets, but unfortunately these will be phased out this year. Despite being brand new, they'll be phasing them out due to fleet commonality, which, while sad, is a smart move for the airline, as the E2s really don't offer that much when compared to the A320Neo family of aircraft. Where I was staying in Almaty was right on the approach into Almaty Airport, and we would often eat outside, and I loved hearing these E2s go overhead, as they're fitted with the Pratt & Whitney 1919G engines, which make this really unique howling noise similar to a toned-down Vulcan. But then finally, there's their wide-body fleet of 3 Boeing 767-300s that includes the last passenger 767 ever built, being only 10 years old, which is young for a 767. Despite this, Air Astana are keen to upgrade their fleet, and I think think, seeing as they replaced their Boeing narrowbodies with Airbus, that they should have gone with the A330Neo, but Air Astana have instead chosen the Boeing 787. Originally, they ordered 3 of the 787-8s, but these have now been swapped for the -9s, which will give them a higher capacity, and these are set to join the Air Astana fleet in 2025. While I would love to see Air Astana operate a flight from Almaty to New York, similar to the Uzbekistan Airways flight from Tashkent to New York, but with only 3 787s on order, I'd imagine that these would just go on to serve their existing network, flying to mainly Seoul, Beijing, and Dubai. Another contributing factor to Air Astana being so great is they don't own their aircraft, they're leased to them, hence why they all have Irish registrations. Ireland and Kazakhstan entered this agreement in 2021, which meant that these Kazakh-based aircraft would be under the scrutiny of the Irish Civil Aviation Authority, and a part of this agreement would include the training of Kazakh maintenance technicians. ICAO audits have shown that according to ICAO safety standards, Kazakhstan's Civil Aviation Organization have risen in pass rates from 37% to 75%, which is now 6% higher than global standards. There's no denying that even half a decade ago, Kazakhstan were in a rough place when it comes to aviation safety, but over the last couple of years this has improved drastically, which is helping them in their continual separation from any Soviet-era reputations. Just take a look at Aeroflot, for example, still upholding to those Soviet reputations. After the Ukraine war, Airbus and Boeing have stopped supplying Russia with parts for their aircraft, yet Russia continued to fly them outside the safety standards set by their manufacturers. Aeroflot's aircraft are also leased, but they were stolen and re-registered illegally as Russian aircraft, and it's believed that Iran are now providing heavy maintenance for these aircraft. With the marriage of Kazakhstan's safety records being boosted and the long-standing Kazakh hospitality, this makes Air Astana a world-class airline in my opinion, but one that seems to be overlooked by many. Dubai to Almaty is only a 3-hour flight similar to Washington to Denver or London to Athens, yet the service on Air Astana compared to United or British Airways is nothing short of impressive, with IFE systems, amenity kits, and a full meal. For this reason, Air Astana are definitely up there in my books, and I would love to fly them again someday. And with that, I want to thank you very much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.